Thank you, Mark. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Whitson. To give you a brief background, and it'll have to be brief because I've only got 5 minutes, I actually launched this event 5 years ago and ran it for the 3 years after that, which gave me a really good insight into how corporates and charities interact with each other. I now head up a department that runs online videos, video microsites, webcasts, and other forms of online content across Haymarket's business-to-business portfolios. So what am I doing here? Why am I keeping you from your mid-morning coffee? Well, we've been doing some research recently with both corporates and charities. We spoke to 50 of each into what their main issues are at the moment. It raised some pretty interesting things. First thing we asked charities was what their most preferred method of approach was to corporate partners. As you can see, emails at the top there with nearly 60%, then letters, then phone, then face-to-face, then other. We then asked corporates which channels they were least likely to respond to if approached via them by a charity. You may recognize the first 4 of these. So we had email at the top, then phone, then letters, then face-to-face. Now, it's not to say that these channels can't work. Of course they can, and of course they do. But the fact remains that charities were spending enormous amounts of their time writing proposals, only for many of them to end up in the same place. Through no fault of their own and through no fault of the corporates, who are of course busy people. But what could be done to improve the situation? Because from our calculations, around 98% of charities' time in writing proposals was wasted, which, given budgetary pressures and resourcing pressures, was a big drain on them. So we went back to the corporates and we said, look, what information do you want and how can we display it in a way that will make better use of your time in assessing them? Some of these may seem obvious, but to start with, these are the things that they told us they wanted to hear about. So this is Sammy. He's a baby goat. He's 1 month old. What's he doing here? Well, the corporations told us that whilst, of course, they're interested in the cause of charities, be it sick animals or whatever else, it formed, well, the fluffy animal factor, as they called it, formed only a small part of the information that they wanted. They were more interested in what the charity had to offer on a really kind of business level. For all the animal lovers out there, I can assure you that Sammy's actually fine. Corporates want to know where their money is going. Apologies for the slightly crass image. It was actually sent to me by one of the fundraising directors that we spoke to in research. There's a problem here for charities in that all the donors that give them money want it to go to the front line, which is, of course, impossible. The corporations seem to be more understanding of this, which is great, but facing more accountability as they are, they just wanted a little bit more transparency from the charities in their proposals as to where the money would be going. Volunteering. Well, both charities and corporates were kind of aligned on this. Deloitte's presentation earlier was great and really went into depth about the sort of skill set that they look for and the ways in which they look to sort of develop their staff whilst benefiting the charities. Charities didn't find corporates turning up to paint fences or whatever else particularly useful. They want funds. Corporates want to develop their staff and make best use of their staff within the charities. So the two are aligned. What we need here are creative entrepreneurial ideas as to how volunteers can be best put to use within a charity to ultimately generate funds and create a win-win situation. Same is true of marketing. What are the really creative ideas that are going to make sure that 2 brands are essentially better than one? What's the charity's marketing reach? What resources do they have? What have they done in the past, etc.? And this feeds through to events as well. What events are the charities running that a prospective or new corporate partner could plug into if they were to form a relationship, whether it's cycling, running, growing a ridiculous moustache, or a beautiful one like Mark's. I'm up close, I can tell you it's a real treat. Baking, or don't even get me started on what that guy's up to, but I hope he raised a lot of money, whatever it was. Corporates were also interested in past relationships of charities. You know, what had they done in the past to give them a bit of food for thought, hopefully with more success than this example. So we did all this research. These are the main things that the corporates wanted to hear about, but what could be done about it? What could be done to improve the situation? So it was actually a couple of the CSR people that we spoke to that suggested the formation of a website, corporatecharityconnections.com, which will be launching in early 2011. It basically features short, to-the-point videos of charities, fundraising directors, CEOs, talking about what they have to offer prospective corporate partners on a really strategic business level. Corporate partners will have the ability to search through by the information that they're interested in, be it volunteering opportunities, marketing opportunities, geographical reach, size, or cause. Each charity will have its own page with their video, key information, corporates will be able to jump to the relevant bits of the video for them and ultimately get in touch if they like what they see. So how are we going to promote it? Well, across the Haymarket portfolio, we've got many relevant magazine titles. These are just some of them. Sorry, I got a bit carried away with the transitions on PowerPoint. Third Sector is, of course, one of them, but we've also got Management Today, PR Week, Marketing, Brand Republic. One of the interesting things to come from the research is that in the recent economic turmoil, often it's marketing directors, communications directors, managing directors who are the decision makers when it comes to choosing charity partners, which makes the sort of earlier bombarding of proposals particularly relevant because, of course, it's only a small part of what they do. We'll be cherry-picking the most relevant people from across these titles and marketing the site to them via emails, online display, adverts, so forth. We'll also be creating a DVD every 6 months, which we will post out to the top 300 CSR professionals on Haymarket's database, as well as any others that have subscribed to receive it. It'll basically feature all the videos that are on the site at that time. In addition to this, of course, the charities will have their own video to keep, to use in their own promotions, and also their own direct approaches to corporations, hopefully saving them a lot of time. So that's all from me. That seems to have bled over the box a little bit. But essentially, we want to get as many charities involved in the site as possible. So we've instituted a tiered pricing structure according to charity size. We've also instituted a discount for delegates from today to sign up before the end of the week. One other thing I have to mention is that the Business Charity Awards, which is of course relevant in all of this, is now open for entries in 2011. I'm going to be outside all day, as are many of the staff from Third Sector, so do come and have a chat with us. I'd love to hear your ideas, your thoughts on the website and so forth. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much indeed for listening.